Welcome back. So, been away for a month at work and I've had a few things done. So we got 2 holes for the doors there, windows either end. So one of the holes is cut in the door there, as you can see. So we're gonna have to seal that up, probably with some welding and Sikaflex. So windows and doors are all here. Gas line up here. Gas bottle will go up there, come down, go into the stove. We've got to stop this front door from opening once we put this window in and everything. So these plates are going to get welded across the join here, and I think 10 of them up the length of that, and then these little bits of tube are just going to sit in there and get welded. Had a guy come through and help me flick out all the lines for the battens in the container. Pre-drilled them. That's all done the whole way around the container. We got some extension cables, so now we have stove with connected gas line, just need the gas bottle, and we got a working fridge with the essentials. So these 2 doors, this one closed properly, so I've tacked these in. I know they're not the prettiest of welds, but they'll do for their purpose. But this door was bent out, so it wasn't quite closing properly. It wasn't going to be flush here for when we build the wall on it. So I've made up this little bracket here, got this bit through here, and levered it so that now we have these 2 surfaces flush. Spray some primer on it, and then I've also run Sikaflex in all the bits that I think are going to need it. This bit of the rubber seal was missing, so I've welded a patch of plate there, packed that out with foam, and then finished it off with a bit of plastic to make it look nice and clean. Okay, so a bit of a quick update. We got the angles that we're going to weld together for the boxes, and then I've just gone and ordered all the materials for the walls, so all the studs, all the fibro cement. That should be coming tomorrow. Lots of work to get that all done and try and get the studs up, electricals in, and insulation in, fibro on. Try and get all that done before I go back to work on Tuesday. Okay, on today's agenda is to cut up one of these barrels as a rubbish bin, and we'll get most of that cleaned up. We've got a delivery coming today, so it's going to be all the fibro sheets for the container, all the studs for the framing and everything like that, 2 bags of insulation for the ceiling. So we'll chuck that down there somewhere. There we go, all cut out and ground down, so you got a nice, relatively safe edge, so you can't cut yourself. Well, I reckon that looks 100 times better. Problem is it's pretty much already full, and we got a lot more rubbish going to be made out of this. Okay, so I figure we'll start with the smallest window. I figure that might be the easiest one. So these are, first of all, the angle is going to be sitting in the container, and it's going to go like this. So we're going to have these ones go up to here, these edge ones join up there, and then that's going to slip into the container like that. So I think I'll cut some shims out of this, and we'll use this to shim around the edge so that the window's not super tight, but it's nice and snug. And then that'll just make it easier once we weld everything together. You know, if there's a little bit of discrepancy here and there, we've still got a little bit of room to manage that. So these are 1200. But then these angles are cut like 1207. And I don't know if I should just weld them with a decent gap. It's 1217. I wonder it's huge. Okay, I've made the executive decision to just send it with these sizes. So I'm going to tack these together, make sure they all fit, then pull the window out, finish the welds, and we'll go from there. Okay, so now the plan is we're going to weld these as is. There's going to be a bit more of a gap than I originally thought, so there might be, you know, 2, 3, maybe 4 mil around there. But because we're going to put a bead of Sikaflex all in here, we'll just use that to cover it. And it's not really going to make much difference. Just otherwise, I'm going to sit here trying to grind this down until we have a perfect fit. So this seems like the sensible way to do it. So I've tacked one of these together. The window fits in it. I'm just going to check if it fits in here. That actually fits. So that's pretty awesome. We'll go and weld it completely, and then we move on to the next one. Okay, so these are really horrible welds, but despite what it may look like, I can weld better than that. There's a good chance that this bottle is actually empty because someone's bunged this up and we can't actually see how much is in there. Okay, so my brother came and had a look at the welds, and he reckons the reason I was struggling because the gas bottle's completely out, and I think that's because the regulator has been damaged and then it's just been leaking out of the regulator. Or someone left the gas on for a couple of weeks and it's just slowly drained out of there. So I'm not going to cut all those welds and redo them, which would be the most ideal way to do it. Instead, I'm going to just clean off the other side to the one that I welded, and I'll re-weld. I'll weld that side, add a weld to the second side, and that should be good enough. Like they're not going to break, they're not going to come apart, but it'll just be that extra bit of structural integrity. And then that'll be ready to weld into the container tomorrow. Okay, we've got a new regulator, new bottle of gas. It's all set up. Obviously no gas was the problem yesterday, so I prepped these all last night and we're going to give them a shot, re-weld them on the flange in here and the outside here. So we did a bit of work. This afternoon we got all these welded in, so all the window frames. This one took a bit of hacking, but we got it in there, and with Sikaflex and all the final finishes, it'll be nice and tidy. The windows are in, so they're all sealed up, thicker around the fin, and then I've just got a couple of screws in there to hold it in while the sticker sets. And then once the sticker's done, so probably tomorrow, I'll pull those out and then we can put reveals on there. Got some white crosses on masking tape because some idiot not me, will try and throw something through the window and end up breaking it. So I figure that just removes that possibility. Now we got to sticker up this gap here and eventually get to stickering this gap as well. So that'll have a seal all the way around there. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Got a beater sticker all the way around the outside and it looks pretty neat and tidy. I reckon that's a pretty good finish. So that's all outside and inside of the angle, all sealed with Sikaflex. Woo! Yeah! 27, 25, both ways. That's square. Hey, she's strong enough. So this is all welded. It's 50 by 50 3mm box section, 50 by 50 3mm angles on the sides. We've got 3 series 500 screws on each side, bolting it straight to the container. Why? I used it. Showers?
It was a fucking full block like last time I stayed here.
I don't know. The bed frames are up, or the structural part of them. So we've got 50 by 50 angle there, and then 50 by 50 box section. My brother's gonna come back. I fly out tomorrow for work, so my brother's gonna come back and put bolts in instead of these series 500 screws. And that'll help us pull this container in, because we've got about a 10mm gap there, so it'll pull the container in square. Yeah, got some box section welded in back there, just to fix up this bit that I had to check out to get around the edge of the container. I think that's a good successful week. Good successful week off, and go back to work tomorrow for another 3 weeks. So I won't be doing anything here for a while.